1983, Malmesbury, Wiltshire, England. 36-year-old James Dyson has been living mostly on his wife's salary for more than 5 years already. He is finishing the 5127th prototype of his vacuum cleaner. His wife, Deirdre Hindmarsh, grows vegetables for sale, raises chicken, and teaches art. She supports Jason when he decides to take out a second mortgage on their house for additional funds. 1994, Edinburgh, Scotland. In a tiny, mouse-ridden apartment, a single mother, Joanne Rowling, lives in poverty after her failed marriage. She is unemployed, lives on welfare, and suffers from clinical depression. Rowling considers herself the biggest loser I knew. 1999, Richmond, Kentucky, United States. Buddy Winkle is 71. Her son died from cancer, and a few years before that, she lost her husband in a car accident. I couldn't draw myself out of my grief. For years, I didn't connect with others or myself. To help herself cope with the grief, she starts to dress brighter. It was more than 10 years before an accidental Instagram photo made her famous and changed her life. 2005, a guy named William, 48 years old, moves to Florida after divorce. He had to move to a different state to be able to see his daughter. He lost his home, his savings, and his job. All he had was his truck where he put all his belongings when he moved. We all have our misfortunes. Maybe you are in the process of understanding that your family life is not as happy as it was supposed to be. Or perhaps you have just lost a significant part of your investments. Your business idea never worked. Or maybe you just realized that you missed your chances to have kids because you are already too old. Or maybe it's something else, probably even more serious. Some people have real problems. Or probably you're just looking back at your life and realizing that you haven't done anything significant. Your friend from college has become a millionaire and you are still thinking of what you would like to be when you grow up. Dreams that never took flight. Now, sit down, relax, make yourself comfortable, drink some coffee, and listen carefully because you will feel much better after this video. The first thing we're going to discuss is the popular concept that is widely used nowadays. You can hear it almost everywhere. It's commonly misunderstood, and it's stating that life is short. Nowadays you can see and hear it almost everywhere. Life is short, act fast, it's now or never. I really want you to question it right now. Why never? Okay, I have an idea. For example, I want to write a book or start my own business, but I feel that it's not the right time for it yet. Because I'm probably quite happy and satisfied and successful with what I'm doing right now, why can't I write a book later? Some plants need to grow before they blossom. But we hear no, do it now, life is short, it's now or never. What if you die tomorrow? Tell it to Phyllis Dorothy James, who started writing when she was over 40 years, and she wrote some of her best novels when she was over 80. Or to Julia Child, who wrote her first book and became famous after she retired. Or the guy named William, whom I mentioned at the beginning. He is now my neighbor. Previously, before divorcing and moving to Florida, he had a typical office job. Once he moved here, he decided to start his own business. He started from scratch, and now he has several successful businesses. He has a lovely house and a new beautiful wife, who is 15 years younger than him. When we talked, he mentioned that while this dramatic change catalyzed his shift, it was primarily just the right time for him to start. We could think that factors like his ex-wife or other circumstances held him back, which may be true in some cases. However, he enjoyed his job previously and wasn't ready for his own business until the right moment came. The idea of this concept that life is short is different. I'm going to return to this at the end of this video and explain it to you. Now, for the first time in history, we can live a long life without the fear of a sudden and unpredictable death. Why on earth should we not enjoy it? Life is long. I will take 1,000 plans for tomorrow. Nothing is too late. My coffin still rustles in the forest. It is a tree. It nurses nests. Some people, even in their 40s or 50s or 60s, think that they are already too old. But think about how long you can really live. With modern medicine, regular checkups, exercising, and proper nutrition, what prevents you from living to 100 or even more? And then that's another 30, 40, or 50 years. That's a lot. My aunt, she's now in her early 60s. She retired recently and had an idea of starting her own business project. Of course, she started worrying and complaining that she's too old for a new start. I had to remind her that her mom, my grandmother, is more than 90 years old right now and she's still feeling fine and having a healthy brain. My aunt has a full life ahead. Badi Winkle, whom I mentioned at the beginning, started her new media career at the age of 85. And in 2 years, Time magazine recognized her as one of the 30 most influential people on the internet. She walked the red carpet at the Voice Music Awards, modeled for fashion brands like Missguided and Dimepiece LA, and many others, started her own clothing line, and even wrote a book. There are so many chances of new starts, making new mistakes, improving mistakes, making another ones, starting all over, improving it all again, and enjoying all these adventures. Scientists have researched that if you have at least 5 years of life in reserve, you can become anyone you want, even the Supreme Pontiff, if you have a well thought out plan. You have probably seen this very popular and very unsettling illustration of our life journey. It's often accompanied by comments like, "You think that all the possibilities are in front of you, but consider where exactly on this chart you are now and how much time you have left." Of course, it looks depressing. It looks like any mistake at this stage is already fatal. It seems here that if you start again, you won't be able to use the same resources anymore. But listen, who said that such a scale has any relation to reality? Why don't we illustrate it like this? Yes, our body and brain lose physical and cognitive resources with age. But in reality, these changes occur slowly, not like this. And secondly, why don't we compensate this natural process with modern medicine, physical exercise, and healthy nutrition? We're not in Middle Ages anymore. Additionally, while some aspects of brain function decline with age, like memory and processing speed, others can actually improve. Throughout life, the brain maintains plasticity, or the ability to adapt and change. In fact, older adults may show increased connectivity between distant brain areas, better cognitive flexibility, and the ability to integrate diverse information. Studies also suggest that the amygdala, the brain region associated with emotions, may become less reactive to negative stimuli in older adults, indicating better emotional resilience. And while some memory functions may decline, research indicates that older adults are more likely to use both brain hemispheres for memory processing. And in some regions of the brain, nerve-cell communication can become even faster with age. Also, accumulated knowledge and experiences throughout life improve cognitive abilities. It has been proven that the older you are, the more likely your business ideas will succeed. Older people make fewer mistakes and have a better understanding of the business landscape. You have time. Experiment. Even if nothing happened and you enjoyed what you have been doing and you had a successful career, but you probably want to try something new. Change your profession. It's normal. Who said you can have only one? You might think, oh, I have spent so many years to become an engineer. I just can't, I don't have time to start all over to become, for example, a designer. But that's not true. You can become a surgeon, an astronomer, a blogger, a musician. You can implement the craziest business projects. Understanding that life is not short, it's long. You can make mistakes. You can improve them. You don't need to stress about it. You can start all over. You have time. Enjoy this process. Do not rush. Everything will work out. Or perhaps your interests are elsewhere. To grow flowers, relax, take some time, upgrade yourself, find a new husband, travel across the country on a motorcycle. Now, do it. Enjoy it without self-guilt and paranoia that you need to rush and hurry up to live this life. And if you are in the process of studying right now or working hard and it's not the job of your dreams, but you understand the purpose behind your efforts, you have a plan. I'm currently here at this stage and I know it will help me get there, reach the point I desire in future. This is not a waste of time, it's a well thought out strategy. James Dyson knew what he was doing all those hard years. Yes, it wasn't easy. It wasn't days or months of work on his idea. It was long years of living with his wife's financial and moral support and more than 5,000 prototypes. And in light of all this, now look at all your defeats and problems from a different perspective. An ideal and perfectly stable life does not lead to happiness. Happiness is not in just well-being. It is in the depths and strengths of your lived experiences, feelings and emotions, both positive and negative. Those who lack such experiences may lead very dull lives. For example, there was one young man from upper middle class family. He visited a psychologist, a friend of mine, and he saw powerful emotions, adventures, energy, and vigor only in films. And his problem was that he craved a catastrophe so much that he caught himself wanting to just destroy his own life, to experience a real disaster. And he was deeply sad. Do you know why? Because we're not designed to just coast through life. Our bodies, minds, and emotions are designed to sometimes experience fear, face challenges, to fight and use your brain to the fullest. Sometimes you need to feel the pain of defeat, the desire to revenge, and the sweet taste of your enemy's blood on your teeth. There you can feel yourself alive. Without all this, our brain and body degrade. Several generations of prosperous people for whom everything was transparent and predictable, will be easily outpaced by those who haven't lost the ability to think and act. And now, we come to a significant benefit that your mistakes and failures can give to you. When you experience a major setback, be it a failed career, a broken marriage, or losses in business, you can use it and change your life forever. Exhale. No more pretending or straining to conform the other's expectations. Instead, think deeply about who you truly are and what you really want. This brings us back to this commonly misunderstood concept that life is short. The reality of this idea lies in accepting the inevitability of death. It's the ancient, deep idea of letting death in, realizing it, and living through it. What does that give to us? It gives us tremendous freedom, the courage and inspiration to do what we are afraid of and live the life we want. It's reminiscent of those popular movies where a character learns they have an incurable illness and finally begins to live the life they've always desired. The secret is you do not need to be terminally ill to do the same.
You're cancer-free. The biopsy looked like adenocarcinoma, but it wasn't. Harmless lesions on your lungs. You're fine.
I don't get it.
Cool.
No, it's... I know this must come as a shock, but I've double-checked the labs.
I just accepted an offer on my house. I've had 3 goodbye parties. I'm buying plane tickets to Venice.
You can still use those if you're alive.
Now you are free. Feel your real nature and behave in a way that feels authentic to you. Use this state as a source of power and inspiration that nothing else can give. So why do I talk about the benefits of failure? Simply because failure meant a stripping away of the inessential. I stopped pretending to myself that I was anything other than what I was, and began to direct all my energy into finishing the only work that mattered to me. Had I really succeeded at anything else, I might never have found the determination to succeed in the one arena I believed I truly belonged. I was set free because my greatest fear had been realized, and I was still alive, and I still had a daughter whom I adored, and I had an old typewriter and a big idea. And so rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. Spread your wings. Your failures can change your life, and perhaps the whole world around you. Press like if you like this video, and please subscribe so you do not miss the next one. I appreciate all your comments. Your opinion matters to me.